Here's a statistic that'll blow your mind. 70% of unhappy marriages where the man stays for the kids or to make it work end up in divorce anyway within 10 years, according to research from the Institute for Family Studies. But here's what's worse those 10 years. They destroy your health, your finances, your relationship with your kids, and your sense of self-worth. You waste a decade of your life in misery, hoping things will magically get better, and they never do. Brother, if you're reading this, you already know something's wrong. You didn't search for this content because your marriage is thriving. You're here because you're lying awake at 3 a.m. wondering if this is as good as it gets. You're here because part of you already knows the answer, but you're terrified to admit it. I know you felt this, that pit in your stomach when you hear her car pull into the driveway. The relief you feel when she texts that she's going out with friends. The fact that you'd rather work late than go home. The way you've stopped trying to fix things because every attempt ends in an argument or cold silence. Fellas, what I'm about to tell you isn't easy to hear, but it might save your life. Because staying in the wrong relationship doesn't just waste your time, it kills you slowly. And I mean that, literally. Let's start with what society tells you. Marriage is hard work. No relationship is perfect. You made a commitment. Think about the kids. You'll regret giving up. All of that sounds noble, right? Sounds like what a good man should believe. But here's the reality nobody wants to discuss. There's a massive difference between a relationship that requires work and a relationship that requires you to destroy yourself to maintain it. The Gottman Institute, which has studied relationships for over 4 decades, found that marriages characterized by contempt, criticism, defensiveness, and stonewalling have a 94% divorce rate within 5 years. 94%. Let that sink in. If your relationship is filled with those 4 behaviors, you're not in a rough patch. You're in a sinking ship, and everyone's too polite to tell you to grab a lifeboat. The brutal truth? Most men stay way too long. Not because the relationship is worth saving, but because you've been conditioned to believe that leaving makes you a quitter, a failure, or a bad man. You've been sold this lie that your value as a man is measured by how much you can endure. That's complete horseshit. Your value as a man is measured by how well you protect your peace, your purpose, and your future. And sometimes protection means walking away from what's destroying you. Here are the signs it's time to go. Not maybe someday signs. Not let's try counseling first signs. These are the get out now before it's too late signs. Sign number 1. You're constantly disrespected, and she shows no remorse. I'm not talking about the occasional argument or disagreement. I'm talking about a pattern where she belittles you, mocks you in front of others, dismisses your feelings, or treats you like you're an inconvenience in her life. Research from the University of California shows that men in relationships where they experience regular disrespect have a 32% higher risk of heart disease. Your body is literally breaking down from the stress. When you bring it up, she either denies it, blames you, or tells you you're too sensitive. That's not a partner, that's an adversary. Sign number 2, the relationship is entirely one-sided, and you're doing all the work. You're the one trying to fix things. You're the one suggesting counseling. You're the one making compromises while she makes demands. You're the one walking on eggshells trying not to upset her. Meanwhile, she's checked out emotionally but still enjoying the benefits of your paycheck, your stability, and your labor. Brother, if she's not investing in the relationship but still extracting value from it, you're not in a partnership. You're being used. Sign number 3. Your physical or mental health is deteriorating because of this relationship. You're drinking more. You're not sleeping. You've gained or lost significant weight. Your blood pressure's up. You're anxious or depressed. Your doctor's asking questions. The American Psychological Association found that men in high-conflict marriages have a 35% higher mortality rate than single men or men in healthy marriages. Read that again. You're literally dying faster by staying. This isn't about being dramatic. This is about survival. Sign number 4. She's repeatedly broken trust, and there's no genuine effort to rebuild it. Infidelity, financial betrayal, emotional affairs. Whatever the violation was, she's either minimized it, blamed you for it, or made a half-hearted apology before going right back to the same behaviors. Trust is the foundation of any relationship. Once it's gone and she's not willing to do the hard work to earn it back, you're building on quicksand. Every day you stay is another day wasted hoping she'll become someone she's clearly not. Sign number 5. You've fundamentally different life goals, and neither of you is willing to compromise. Maybe you want kids and she doesn't. Maybe she wants to move across the country and you don't. Maybe your values have diverged so much that you're basically strangers sharing a house. Here's the thing. Compromise works when both people are moving toward each other. But if you're sacrificing your core desires and she's not budging an inch, that's not compromise. That's surrender. And resentment from that kind of surrender will poison everything eventually. Now let's talk about the wrong reasons to stay, because this is where most men get trapped. But we have kids. Listen carefully. Children do not benefit from watching their parents in a toxic, loveless, or hostile marriage. Research from Arizona State University shows that kids from high-conflict intact families have worse outcomes than kids from low-conflict divorced families. You're not protecting your children by modeling a miserable relationship. You're teaching them that this is what love looks like, and they'll repeat the pattern in their own lives. Your son will think it's normal to be disrespected. Your daughter will think it's normal to disrespect her partner. Is that the legacy you want to leave? 2 households with peace are better than 1 household with warfare. But I'll lose everything in the divorce. Maybe you will. The family court system is absolutely rigged against men, and I'm not going to sugarcoat that. You might lose the house, half your retirement, and pay alimony and child support. But here's the question. What's the cost of staying? Your health? Your happiness? Another 10 or 20 years of your one life on this earth spent in misery. You can rebuild financially. Men do it every day. What you can't rebuild is the time you waste staying in something that's killing you slowly. Money is renewable. Your life is not. But what if I'm making a mistake? What if things get better? Brother, if you're asking this question, you already know the answer. When a relationship is right, you're not constantly questioning whether you should leave. You're not researching articles at 2 in the morning about how to know when it's over. Here's a harsh truth. If she wanted to change, she would have already. You've probably had the "we need to fix this" conversation a dozen times. She's probably promised to do better a dozen times. And here you are, still miserable, still questioning, still hoping. Hope is not a strategy. Hope without action is just slow-motion self-destruction. Let's talk about the financial reality, because this is what keeps most men trapped. The courts are biased. You're going to pay. That's the system we have, and it's not changing anytime soon. But consider this. The average cost of a divorce in the United States is $15,000 to $30,000. Sounds like a lot, right? Now calculate what you're paying in your miserable marriage. The stress-related health issues, that'll cost you thousands in medical bills. The lost productivity at work because you can't focus. The opportunities you're missing because your energy is drained. The therapy bills trying to cope with a toxic situation. The drinking, the medication, the years off your lifespan. When you actually run the numbers, divorce isn't the expensive option. Staying is. And here's something else to consider. You have more negotiating power than you think. If she's the one who wants out, if she's the one who cheated, if she's the one who destroyed the marriage, you're in a better position than you realize. Get a shark lawyer who specializes in men's divorce. Document everything. Protect your assets before you announce anything. I'm not saying it'll be easy. I'm saying it's survivable, and what's on the other side is worth fighting for. So how do you actually make the decision? Here's the framework that cuts through all the confusion. Step 1. Write down, honestly, what your life looks like in 5 years if nothing changes. Not what you hope it could be. What it actually will be based on the current trajectory. If that future makes you want to put your fist through a wall, you have your answer. Your gut knows. Your heart knows. The only thing standing in your way is fear, and fear is a terrible reason to stay in something that's destroying you. Step 2. Talk to men who've been through it, not your married friends who'll give you the stick-it-out speech. Talk to divorced men who are 3, 5, 10 years out. Ask them if they regret leaving. I've talked to hundreds of divorced men, and you know what I almost never hear? I wish I'd stayed longer. What I hear constantly is I wish I'd left sooner. Learn from their experience. Step 3. Get your ducks in a row before you make any moves. Talk to a divorce attorney confidentially to understand your options. Open a separate bank account. Document the relationship problems. Gather financial records. Secure your important documents. This isn't about being sneaky. This is about not being naive. If you announce you're leaving before you've protected yourself, you're setting yourself up for disaster. Be strategic. Be smart. Be 3 steps ahead. Step 4. Set a deadline. Not someday. Not when the kids are older. Not when things get really bad. Set an actual date. Tell yourself, if these specific things haven't changed by this date, I'm filing, and stick to it. Without a deadline, you'll keep moving the goalposts and waste another 5 years of your life. Step 5. When you decide to go, go completely. No half measures. No trial separations. No, let's see how it goes. Research shows that men who make clean breaks recover faster and build better lives than men who drag out the separation. Rip the band-aid off. File the papers. Move out. Cut the emotional ties. The longer you drag it out, the more it costs you financially and emotionally. Here's what life looks like on the other side, brother. And I need you to hear this, because when you're in the middle of a toxic relationship, you forget that better exists. You'll sleep through the night. You'll wake up without that knot of dread in your stomach. You'll stop walking on eggshells in your own home. You'll have energy again because you're not constantly managing someone else's emotions. You'll remember what peace feels like. Not happiness that comes later, but peace. The simple, profound relief of not being in constant conflict. You'll rebuild your finances. It'll take time, but you'll do it. You'll rebuild your social life. You'll reconnect with the friends you neglected. You'll rediscover hobbies you abandoned. You'll remember who you were before this relationship drained you dry. And eventually, if you want it, you'll find a relationship that doesn't require you to destroy yourself to maintain it. You'll find a woman who actually respects you, values you, and treats you like a partner instead of a problem. But even if you don't, even if you stay single, being alone and at peace is 1,000 times better than being in a relationship that's killing you. Let me be brutally honest with you about something. If you're still reading this, you've already decided. You know you need to leave. You're just looking for permission, for validation, for someone to tell you it's okay to choose yourself. So, here it is. It's okay to choose yourself. It's okay to walk away from something that's destroying you. It's okay to prioritize your health, your happiness, and your future over a sunk cost fallacy. You don't need to keep suffering to prove you're a good man. You don't need to martyr yourself for a relationship that's already dead. You don't need to sacrifice the next 20 years of your life because you've already sacrificed the last 10. The guilt you feel, that's conditioning. Society's trained you to believe that your needs don't matter, that your pain doesn't count, that your job is to endure silently while providing everything. Screw that. Your life matters. Your happiness matters. Your future matters. And here's something they don't tell you. When you finally leave, when you finally choose yourself, the people who actually love you will understand. Your real friends will support you. Your kids, eventually, will respect you more for choosing authenticity over pretense. The only people who'll judge you are the ones who need you to stay miserable to validate their own choice, to stay in their own miserable situations. So here's your action plan, starting right now. Number 1, stop waiting for the perfect time. There is no perfect time. The kids will never be old enough. Your finances will never be perfect. She'll never give you permission. The perfect time is when you decide it's time. Number 2, call a divorce attorney tomorrow. Not next week, tomorrow. Get a consultation. Understand your options. Knowledge is power, and right now, you're making decisions in the dark. Number 3, start documenting everything. Every fight, every instance of disrespect, every broken promise. Keep a journal. Save text messages. Record conversations if your state allows it. You'll need this evidence. Number 4, build your support network now. Join a men's group. Find a therapist who doesn't automatically blame men for everything. Reconnect with old friends. You'll need these people when things get hard. Number 5, make a financial plan. Calculate what divorce will actually cost. Figure out where you'll live. Set up a separate bank account. Start building your exit fund. Don't announce anything until you're financially prepared. Number 6, set your deadline and commit to it. Write it down. Tell a trusted friend. Make it real. And when that date comes, follow through. No excuses. No delays. No negotiating with yourself. Brother, if you're in the thick of this right now, if you're reading this and feeling that mix of terror and relief, that sense of this is me he's talking about, I need you to know something. You're not alone. Thousands of men are in the exact same situation right now. Lying in bed next to someone who feels like a stranger, wondering if this is all there is, afraid to leave but dying slowly by staying. And thousands of men have walked this path before you and come out the other side, stronger, healthier, and happier. They survived, they rebuilt, they thrived, and you will too. But you have to take the first step. You have to choose yourself. You have to decide that your one life on this earth is worth more than maintaining a relationship that stopped serving you years ago. Share this with a brother who's struggling. We don't talk about this stuff enough because society shames men for admitting when relationships aren't working. But behind closed doors, in honest conversations, we all know the truth. Sometimes the bravest thing you can do is walk away. Sometimes choosing yourself is the most courageous act. Sometimes leaving is the only way to save yourself. The system's rigged. The courts favor her. Society will judge you. And you know what? Do it anyway. Because your life, your health, your happiness, and your future are worth fighting for. You're worth fighting for. Now make the decision. Set the date. Take the first step. Your future self will thank you. You've got this, brother. Now get to work.